Hi friends, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. ಹೇಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ? How are you all? Yes, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. As you already know, I am CA Veeraj, a qualified chartered accountant who is practicing in Bangalore, and teaching is my passion. I'm teaching from so long. So today we will, you already know me by way of CA Foundation Economics. If you have not watched those videos, please go and refer those. They are very interactive, interesting. You'll understand how the level of concepts are being discussed in depth. Today, here we are going to discuss not the economics, but we are going to start with the CA Foundation law. Yes, sir, CA Foundation law. Out of which I know there are so many chapters. We will begin with one very interesting chapter, and which is a recent one also. That is Companies Act 2013. All set? Shall we continue? Begin? Yes, sir. The name of the act is Companies Act 2013. Sir, what is this Companies Act? First of all, what is Act? Don't worry, we will discuss all those things in chapter number 1. That Indian regulatory framework, how the act is made, how it is being passed, what is about central act, what is about state act, what is about the passing of the act, is it in the parliament, is it in the other things. We will discuss everything in detail, but now we will begin with the conceptual part, the Companies Act. The act related word, we will discuss it later, don't worry. But what is company? What is company? Company is nothing but a person. Sir, how can you tell it is a person? You will understand in a bit of time. What is company? Company means there are many definitions which are given. But we are sticking to the definition which was given by Companies Act 2013 alone. Sir, what is this act? Everything is consisting of. I'll just give the brief idea, not regarding how the act is made, but what does the act contains and what are those things. When I say those things, on the top of that, on top of everything, there is something called as act. Under the act, act will be divided into chapters. Like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. I'll show it from the MCA website itself, how the Companies Act only is there. We will discuss the Companies Act itself. Once it is chapters, the chapters are again divided into sections. The chapters are divided into sections, and those sections are divided into subsections. Then comes the clause part. After clauses, then comes sub clauses. Then comes maybe notification. Then comes case laws, etc. This is how the act is being generally done. For your this thing, you will go to the MCA website itself. If you want, you can directly type MCA. So it will be the home page of MCA. Under this, if you come, there is a head called as Act and Rules. If you click on that, there are multiple subheads again. Act, again rules, again forms, notification, circular, accounting standards, so many things are there. But I am directly taking into the act part. Once I click on the act, there are so many acts which are passed by the MCA, Parliament, in the Parliament. One is Companies Act 2013. And if you see, under Companies Act 2013, it is divided into chapters: preliminary, incorporation of company, prospectus and amendment of securities, allotment of securities, the company's private placement, again share capital, acceptance of deposits, registration of charges, management, dividend, accounts, audit, directors, etc. There are so many chapters. Here in this, there are 29 chapters. 29th is a miscellaneous chapter. After that, there are 7 schedules in the Act. We call it as schedules. You might have prepared your balance sheet, P&L as per the Schedule 3. That Schedule 3 is given by this Companies Act only. There is one Schedule 3 here. If you see, general instruction for preparation of balance sheet of the of P&L account of a company, Division 1 company, Division 2 company, Division 3 company. There are 3 divisions. Don't worry. So it is not relevant. And there is given that 1956 Act. Before the Act which we are discussing now, 2013, there was an Act called as Companies Act 2013. The Act which we are seeing now, Companies Act 2013, is not the first Act. Before that, 1956 was there. Because the 1956 was not catering to all the needs of the present companies. Because of the enormous change happening in that digitization, internet, computer, mobile, online business, those things are not actually covered that. So then can't they do the amendment? Yes, they did the amendment from 1956 till 2013. It has become too complex. Again, one thing is there again as an exception, again one more exception, again one more exception. To avoid all those things, they, what is that? Removed that act and they introduced a new Companies Act as Companies Act 2013. So, okay, sir, we understood all these things. The remaining part of this introductory of law, how it is made, where it is made, with respect to central state, we will discuss in the other video. Directly, we will jump into the conceptual discussion. First of all, we should know what is company. What is company? Company means, as per, as I told, the Act is divided to chapter, section, subsection, everything. There are sections where they say as per section 2(20). See, wherever it is important, I'll write the section numbers. You should remember that section number. That is very, very important. If the section number is not important, don't worry. I don't even tell that number also. The moment I say the section 220, section 285, 242, 241, 2(41, then you should understand that it is important section. You should remember it and you will be good to go for examination. Sir, is there any additional marks? Is there any marks deduction if we don't write the section number? No, there is nothing such that. But the moment you try to put the right section number, listen to the language, right section number, the impression you create on the evaluator is totally different. He feels that he has come from heaven. Now, Rambe Uroshi Meneke, Atara, like the extraordinary person, it is unmatchable. The same thing you try to create in the minds of evaluator. So try to remember the section number, that is important. So as per section 2(20, company means a company. Company means a company. Company means a company which is registered, or even we call it as incorporated, under Companies Act 2013 or any other previous company law. Any other previous company law. Sir, what is this? Is it the definition? Do we need to buy it? Yes, you should remember this definition. But before proceeding further, if you look at the definition, what does it say? Company means a company which is registered or incorporated under this Companies Act or any other previous company law. You are just telling company means a company. Sir, then what is it? Try to explain it a bit, or we did not understood. Bit little, you please explain it. See, as we say, this is a mobile. As we say, this is a mobile. What is mobile? Mobile means a mobile. No. Mobile means something using which we can call, we can text, we can use the internet, we can try to do so many stuff. That means for the purpose of understanding what is something, we should understand what are the characteristics of it. Yes, sir, we will learn it, the characteristics. Before getting into the characteristics or features of a company, I'd like to dissect this definition. Sir, what do you mean by dissection? See, just as a foundation students, I understand it is not so important for you to do all these things, but I want you to create the urge to read the law. Whenever the lawmaker makes a law in the parliament, what is the intention of the lawmaker? Try to understand that. Once you know how to read the law, any law, maybe Companies Act, maybe Income Tax law, maybe GST law, maybe FEMA, maybe LLP, any law will be very comfortable. Don't try to just mug up the law. Law is very beautiful thing. It is drafted, every word, every letter is introduced here in a spectacular way. Don't just try to mug up. I know law is theoretical, we try to make it much practical related part so that you are also comfortable, you are also good to go for examination. Ultimately, our intention definitely, because if you are looking into this video, you're the foundation student, when the moment you decided you want to do a CA course, it is like half of the CA course is completed. But try to know what is after CA. So there are so many CAs, but those who are really good with the things, like how to interpret the law, how to read the law, those people are really making like the name, fame, money, everything in the society. So we will try to dissect this definition. Sir, how do we dissect? See here. There are few things. First one we should understand is what is means. Why they use the word means? Sir, what is it? We'll discuss, don't worry. Then there is one more letter called as A. Company means a company which is incorporated or registered. This is the third word which we have to discuss. Under Companies Act 2013 or any other previous company law. This is a common discussion. Here we should discuss three things. One is means. Means does not mean Kannada word mean. Means aru, chicken saru. No, not that. Means. Means. What is that? We will understand it now. So means. Sir, don't use means. No, listen. There are two types of words. One is means. Second word is includes. One is means. Second one is includes. Sir, what is the difference between means and includes? The word, I'll first discuss the includes part, then I come to the means related word. Sir, what is this includes? For example, if I say domestic animal includes the cat, the dog, maybe rabbit. What are the other animals? Domestic animals. Maybe cow, maybe etc. The word here, if you see here, domestic animal includes. The word here used is includes. What? Cat is also domestic animal, dog is also domestic animal, rabbit is also domestic animal, cow is also domestic animal, etc. Etc. means not domestic animals does not only mean these four things. Anything which looks like these animals, not only doesn't like looking, like which fits into this category, those also sits under the domestic animal category. Includes means these are the not only things. Along with that, there are some additional things. For example, if I say like koli, hens, is it a domestic animal or is it a wild animal? Yes, it is a domestic animal. For example, if I take the goat, is it a domestic or wild animal? Yes, it is a domestic animal. That is not written here. Cat, dog, rabbit, cow, what is that? Goat, everything is not written. But buffalo, that is also domestic animal. It says etc. means these are not the four things. Along with these things, if there is anything which fits under these things, is also included in this thing. It is not the exhaustive one. You look at the language what I'm using. It is not the exhaustive one. It is an inclusive definition. Inclusive definition means along with these things, some other things are also being included which fits under the similar category. Then it comes as the word means. Means there is, we try to use wherever there is an exhaustive type of definition. What is exhaustive type of definition? The best example is company definition only. Company means a company which is registered under Companies Act 2013 or any other previous company law. Sir, I am a person who is registered under Income Tax Act. Am I a company? No, definitely not. What is that? They are using the word means. To you to be called as company, first of all you should be registered under Companies Act itself. You cannot see here and there. You just see the state point. Means is an exhaustive. Sir, I think, don't think. Sir, I feel, don't feel. All these things have no relevance in case of law. Means is just the means. It is an exhaustive one. This is the ultimate. It is like the supreme. Means an exhaustive definition. I think you understood now. Company means a company which is incorporated under 2013 Act or any other previous company law. Yes, sir, we understood the concept called means. Now tell me the word called as A. What is A? A is not Upendra's movie. I know people are laughing that regarding those things. There are, again, I'll take multiple words are there. I'll take for the purpose of comparison, I'll take two things. One is A, second one D. Sir, what is A? What is D? D is not your Hindi word. Akka, D, sister, not. D means it is an English word where this is. D means a specific thing. Whenever we want to say, for example, the president, it is directly addressed to a single thing. Maybe single person, maybe single designation, those things. The Ganga River, the Supreme Court, the judge. Whenever we are trying to address for a particular person, they use the word the. What is A? A means it's a common word. A company means there are, you will learn it as and when the video progresses in the further videos also. There are multiple types of company. One is private type of company is also there. Public company is also there. Government company is also there. One person company, Section 8 company, again dormant company, inactive company. There are so many types of companies are there. That is why company means it is not a single type. If I use the word the company, the private company, then all those things are applicable only for this category of company. Are you understanding what I'm trying to tell? Don't worry about the, what is that, remembering the thing. Don't worry. First try to read how the law is being interpreted. Try to understand this part. Private limited. Private limited means company means the private limited company. That means whatever I'm trying to tell in the Companies Act 2013 entirely is applicable for private company because I'm using the word the. But the moment I use the word A, any kind of company, maybe private, maybe public, government, dormant company, inactive company, Section 8 company, OPC, small, any type of company are covered here. You understood what is this thing? Company means a company. That means it is an exhaustive. To call you as a company, you should be registered under this act or previous company law. Along with that, this act is applicable for irrespective of different type of company. Means a company which is incorporated. What is incorporated? Sir, can you explain it? Yes, sir. That is why I am here. There are two things. One is incorporated. Second one is non-incorporated. Second one is non-incorporated, unincorporated. What is this? We'll write the right word only, unincorporated. When I say unincorporated, for example, partnership firm, for example, sole proprietor, all these things, our registration is not compulsory. If you want to do the business, you take an example of pan bida shop. You can do that pan bida shop at any point of time. I think, do you think that you need a license for the purpose of starting a pan bida? You think about a grocery shop, one kirana angadi, nim pakkadalli irodu, one chai angadi, one small tea shop. There are so many types of businesses. You don't need to be incorporated to start the business, because one of the feature we go and discuss in the future video, in this video, is company is a separate legal entity. For the purpose of separate legal entity, to get that status, it has to be incorporated. Without incorporation, we don't call it as a company. To call it as a company, first of all, it has to be incorporated. Without incorporation, it is never a company. It might be something else, maybe partnership, maybe sole proprietorship, maybe something else. But it is not a company. For the purpose of calling it as a company, it has to be incorporated. Sir, what is that incorporated? it has to be either or in simple terms we call it as registered with MCA. When I say the word MCA, it is with the ROC. MCA means Ministry of Corporate Affairs. We have a separate ministry as like Finance, Home Ministry, all those things, Corporate Affairs. Then comes ROC, Registrar of Companies. Whenever you want to register any company, whenever you want to wind up any company, whenever you want to make any amendment, you want to add a new director, you want to remove a director, addition of audit, everything regarding the company is entirely dealt with a registrar of companies. Is it okay? See, we spent almost 20-21 minutes and we are still discussing about the company definition. I think you are comfortable with the definition of company now. What is company? Company means a company. Means A. The moment I use the word means, something should strike to your mind. The moment I use the word A, something again should strike to your mind. Means a company which is incorporated under Companies Act 2013 or any other previous company law. Is it okay? Yes, sir. We understood those things. You please proceed further, na? Yes, sir. We will proceed with the features of company. Features of a company. Features of a company. Sir, what are the features of a company? Features are like, by looking into these things, you can easily identify, oh, it is a company. It is like by looking into the, what is this, beard, that mustache, everything, we identify that, oh, is a man. There are the characteristics of a man. Woman, again, some characteristics. There are multiple things which will decide what it is. The same way, there are certain features, or sometimes we even call it as characteristics. Some characteristics are there to call it as a company. Sir, what are those characteristics? The first characteristics of a company is separate legal entity. Separate legal entity. Then second feature of the company is limited liability. Limited liability. Then again common seal. Then again common seal. Then again perpetual succession. Then again it is an artificial legal person, etc. There are other features also. Sir, what is this separate legal entity? Separate legal entity. What is entity? It is an entity, something which does some business type of things. It's called as entity. Yes, sir. We understood entity. What is legal? It is not the natural entity. It is a legal entity. Sir, why it is legal entity? As I just now we discussed, company means a company which is incorporated under a Companies Act. That means as per the law, it has been incorporated. If you take an example of Reliance, if you take an example of Tata, if you take an example of Infosys, TCS, everything is registered under Companies Act only. Maybe 1956, maybe earlier than 1956. But they are registered. That is why we call it as Reliance Limited, Tata Steel Limited, TCS Limited, because they are public type of companies. Sir, what is public? Don't worry. Just focus on what I discuss. Separate legal entity. What is separate legal entity? The moment it is incorporated in the ROC, under the Companies Act 2013 or any other previous company law, it is given a separate status. It is like the normal person. It is like a normal person. Sir, what is normal person? Does it do any activity which the normal person does? Yes. It has all the powers to do all the activities except few things. Sir, what is that except few things? It cannot take the natural birth. See, we as a humans, natural persons, we are born out of our mother's womb. But the company is not born out of the mother's womb. It is born from the, what is that? By incorporating with the ROC. So that is why we call it as, it is a legal entity. Sir, what is separate? What is separate? Separate is like, when I say entity, it is an artificial legal person. Yes, it is a legal person, but it is artificial. Why? Because it is not taking birth out of the mother's womb. It is not going to get the marriage. then it is not died as a normal person. That is why we call it as an artificial person. What is separate? When I say company is there, company is formed by few people. It is not automatically formed. I want to start the business. For example, Reliance, Mukesh Ambani and the other promoters have started the company. For example, Infosys or Narayan Murthy and other co-founders, Nandan Nilekani, etc. formed the company. For example, Tata's, that Jamshedji Tata, that legacy has continued for the purpose of that business. For example, Wipro, Ajim Premji and the promoters. If you take the recent examples, they're also there. Boat, Aman Gupta is there. So many types of people are there. There everything is company. So separate legal. When I say separate legal, the founders of the company is different than the company. That means, sir, what are you trying to tell? Members are separate from company. Members are different from company. Whatever the activities of members, it will not affect the company. Company's activities also will not affect the members. It is totally separate. You keep it as separate. It can own its property as I can own my, what is that, name. Company can also have name. As I can own my bank account, company can also own my bank account. As I can own some property, company can also own some bank account. Company can also go and sue somebody. Somebody can sue the company because it is a artificial legal person, separate legal entity. Is it okay? Yes, sir. Then comes limited liability. Sir, what is this limited liability? Do listen. It is say, the moment I say limited liability, the liability of the company is not limited. Sir, then what is limited? The liability of the members, look at the language, the liability of the members towards the company is limited. That means the moment I become a member, like a shareholder, how much is my liability? My liability to the extent of, dash. That depends on, again, type of company we are incorporating. There are three different types of company. We will take it in the next page itself. Second feature is limited liability. Limited liability means the type of company will decide it. If it is company limited by shares or company limited by guarantee or company third one is unlimited company. Unlimited company. Sir, what is company limited by shares? That means company has started by issuing the shares to the public. If it is public company, if it is private company, for private people, that's okay. When the company has start having a share capital, then the liability of the shareholders towards the company will be, the liability of the shareholders towards the company is, liability is to the extent of unpaid up value of shares. Unpaid up value of shares. Sir, what is that unpaid up value of shares? Consider company has issued some shares and those shares are having a face value of 10 rupees. Consider I bought 10 shares. How much I should pay? One share is worth 10 rupees. I bought 10 shares. 10 shares multiplied by 10 rupees is 100 rupees is my liability towards the company. But company has called only 5 rupees out of 10 rupees. You remember that in accountancy, something should be sticking to your mind. Partly paid up shares, something like that. Yes, sir. That is what here it is there. Whenever the company has issued a shares on which the amount is due, then the total amount due, for example, 10 shares of 10 each rupees, 5 paid up. That means I should pay 100, but I already paid 50 rupees, 10 shares into 5 rupees. The remaining liability of me towards the company is 50 rupees. That's it. That is what company limited by shares, the members liability. Sir, if it is fully paid up shares, 10 rupees share, 10 rupees paid up, no liability, zero liability. Is it okay? This is again separate legal entity. Yes, sir, we understood. Now, company limited by guarantee. Sir, what is company limited by guarantee? Here, the company is not issuing the shares. It may issue the shares also, but mainly company will not issue the shares. It is like the members of the company are taking the guarantee. The members of the company are taking the guarantee to contribute some amount of money to the company in case of non-happening of some events or happening of some events. So it is the liability here is the guaranteed, is the amount guaranteed by members. Members means mainly shareholders. Company guaranteed by amount guaranteed by members. For example, I told to the company, or I have written in MOA, will understand what is MOA, that when the company goes into the liquidation, I will take a responsibility to contribute up of 10 lakh rupees. That means my guarantee to the company is 10 lakh rupees. Now, the unlimited company. What is unlimited company? As the name only says, the liability of the members are unlimited. It is like the liability of company itself. So this is unlimited liability of members. Unlimited liability of members. But the point here to note down is this, the company limited by shares, whatever this 50 rupees is there, that can be called up by company in two scenarios. One is during the life of the company. What is that during the life of the company? Whenever the company is running its operation, it can call the money during that time also, or during the winding up also. During the winding up of the company also, irrespective of those things. But when it comes to this guarantee and unlimited company, guarantee company and unlimited company, it can be called up during, only during winding up of the company. Winding up of the company. Understood the difference? So can guarantee company be with the share capital? Yes, guarantee company can be with share capital, without share capital. If it is having with share capital, the unpaid up value of shares can be called up during the life, but the guaranteed amount should be called up only during the winding up. Sir, unlimited company, can it have share capital? Yes, unlimited with share capital, without share capital. Any type of thing can be called up during, if it is share capital, life. If it is unlimited thing, then it is at the winding up of the company. This is the second feature, third feature of the company. One is separate legal entity, artificial juridical person. Then third one is limited liability. Then the next feature which we have here is, common seal. Sir, what is this common seal? Because company is an artificial person. See, if I say, this is my sign, as a natural person I can sign it because I know how to sign this level. But company, how can it sign? That is why the Companies Act given a concept called as common seal. The common seal is like the signature of the company. What is that? It is a signature. It is a signature of the company. When I say signature, the moment whenever the company issues a document, it can sign using that common seal. See, this common seal is not the rubber stamp which we see everywhere. Common seal, like it will be having only one, that is with the in charge, that is in the custody of the company secretary. You know that there is a concept called as engraving. I'll open it. You can see here. You see here. It is like there is no rubber stamp. It is like the moment I press it, the engraving, the letters are being written there. You know that in movies, income tax raid will happen, or that CBI raid will happen. They seize the property, they burn something and put that stamp, right? That is called as common seal. So common seal is like only one for the company and it will be in the custody of company secretary. But the notable point here is from 2016 time, around 2016 time, the Companies Act has made this common seal optional. Sir, what is optional? Company may have the common seal, company may not have the common seal also. No need to have the common seal. That is up to the company. Sir, when it is not a mandatory, then who will sign? Then what is the signature of the company? For that, they introduced alternatively, so either it should be signed by, two directors. Either it should be signed by two directors or it should be by one director plus one company secretary. If the company is having the company secretary, then it should be signed by a company secretary, a director and a company secretary. So, understood common seal? And now we will discuss the last feature. The last feature of the company is not last. In our discussion, it is last. Perpetual succession. Perpetual succession. What is perpetual succession? What is succession? Succession, have you heard that in normal tradition also? In our house, all those things, whenever the grandfather dies, the property will come to father. When the father dies, again comes to son. It is like a chain. It is, we call it as succession. Like inheritance. That is also, we call it as succession. Whether the member is there, whether the father is there, whether the son is there, it doesn't matter. The property keeps on continuing from one party to other party. Here also perpetual succession. The moment we use the word perpetual, actually this perpetual is a word used in mathematics. Where perpetuity, I think you might have done in the mathematics, time value of money, perpetual, annuity, all those things. Perpetual means where there is no end. Actually, I don't believe this. There is no end. Why? You might be thinking, why? Sir, you tell me. Pause the video and think. What could be my answer? See, perpetual does not mean that no end. See, you think any angle, a company which is started maybe 100 years back might have closed, might be continuing. It might continue for next 100 years, 200 years. It doesn't mean that there is no end. No, there is an end, but we don't know when there is an end. That is why we call it as it is a perpetual succession. Perpetual does not mean no end, but we don't know the end. That is why the perpetual succession. But coming back to the examination point of view, don't write all this nonsense. It is for your understanding. Perpetual succession means where there is no end. For examination, you remember this one only. Sir, what is this no end? Consider who are the members, who are the owners of the company. We call it as shareholders. When the member comes, it is, you will learn it in the further video, that for private company there are 2 members, for public company there are 7 members. When the shareholder is having the number of shares, consider, there is one question also on this, we will discuss that question later. When the shareholder dies, or when the shareholder retires, or when the shareholder exits the company, it does not, end of the company. Once the member is died, then the legal representative of the member, or maybe the legal assigner, or the person who is successing those shares, like the property. For example, when a father dies, the property means the ownership and the land and the shares, everything I'm talking about, everything comes to the son. Now the son will become the member. There are 2 words here. One is assignment and succession. We are discussing the succession part. Succession means it is not a voluntary transfer. It is of the act of the law. Sir, what is act of the law? When a person died, it is normally as per the Succession Act which we have, the property will pass to the next generation. But what is assignment? I am selling my property to you. This is what we call it as assignment. I am assigning my things to the other party. So we are discussing about the succession, where the Companies Act says members may come, members may go, members may die, members may appoint, members may retire. It doesn't matter. The company keeps on going forever. This is what the concept of perpetual succession. You understood? Sir, what did we discuss? We just consolidate. We started with the Companies Act 2013, where we started with how the act will look like. It is like act, section, subsection, clauses, subclauses, and rules. all those things, case laws. And we told how to read the law, why the word means is used, why the word a is used, why it is the word incorporated, all those things we discussed, that means and includes, then incorporated, unincorporated, a, the, all those things. Again, we started with the discussion of the moment we see this mobile means mobile. Sir, then what is mobile? Mobile means something which has some features. We started discussing the features of the company. We call it as characteristics also, under which we discussed few characteristics. There are some other characteristics also. We can go through that, but this is what sufficient for examination. The characteristics are separate legal entity, limited liability, common seal, perpetual succession, and artificial legal person. Understood? All set? Is it okay, boys and girls? Shall we wind up? The remaining part we will continue in the next class. Thank you. If you like this video, if you feel it is interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell icon, because we're going to get so many updates in the future. Stay tuned. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.